On a weekly basis, I'm hearing comments about how people believe that investing in the Poconos is dead. With so many talking heads saying that the short-term rental market is over, I want to dispel some myths for you about investing here. If you are not familiar with investing in the Poconos and you're considering buying here, you need to understand the benefits and the challenges. So stick around because this video is going to be exactly what you need to hear. So let's jump right into it. Myth number one. The regulations are going to shut your business down. While there is a little bit of truth to this, I need to explain more why it's a myth. Look, not every community and township in the Poconos bans short-term rentals. In fact, a majority of them allow short-term rentals. So if you're hearing that all of these communities and all of these townships are going to outright ban and completely do away with short-term rentals, you're not getting the right information. For as long as people can remember, the Poconos has been a destination area. People have gone to vacation there for decades, right? And that means that there have always been short-term rentals. Maybe they weren't called short-term rentals, they were just called vacation rentals, whatever it is. But these regulations from the HOAs, they do in fact try and regulate short-term rentals, but they're not going to be outright banned. But you need to know that there are some communities as well as townships that do ban short-term rentals. That means that you can rent it for less than 30 days. So when you are deciding to buy here, just make sure that you know wherever you're looking what those rules and regulations are for that specific community and for the township as well. Myth number two is that the cash flow is just not there. While there is, again, a little bit of truth to that, you have to really understand the nuances of cash flows for short-term rentals in the Poconos. There was this huge surge, right, in 2020, 2021, and 2022, where people were making a ton of money. And now, since investing in the Poconos is so popular, they are under that impression, if they're not talking to the right people, that they're going to be able to get the cash flow, right, that 40, 50, 60% return on investment that people were getting in 2020 and 21 and 22. That's not the case. What we're seeing now is a more normalized market of short-term rentals going back to pre-pandemic levels. I talk about this all the time. That doesn't mean that the cash flow isn't there. You have to understand that you can still be successful and you can still cash flow in the Poconos in 2024 and beyond. As always with real estate investing, you make your money when you purchase the property. That means that you still have to buy right. If you're buying an overvalued, overpriced property, then it's going to be harder to cash flow. So that's one very important thing that you need to understand. And the second piece of that is people forget that there are 4 ways you make money investing in real estate. You have your cash flow, which we just talked about. You have your debt pay down, your depreciation, and the tax benefits as well. These 4 investing pillars are what truly makes up a good investment. So if you take out the cash flow equation and understand you're not going to be making what you were 2 or 3 years ago, then you're going to do well. Look, I get it. The nuances of buying in the Poconos can be really annoying, can be really frustrating because it's like, where do you start? What do you do? If you're buying here, you have to link up with someone who knows the area, who knows the market. So if you are looking, if you are considering investing in the Poconos, you want to talk to me and my team, just click the link below. We love to chat. The third myth, and this is probably the best one for me, is that there are no good deals anymore. And I think that people believe there are no good deals because they don't know what a deal is. And a deal is different for you. A deal is different for me, right? I know what I'm looking for when I want to purchase a property in the Poconos. I know what I want as a deal, right? So there are deals to be had in the Poconos, especially with the investors who purchased properties in the past couple years and now they're getting out of it because they realize it's not what they thought it was going to be. So there are going to be deals to be had there. But also, and this is true for any real estate market, whether it's short-term, long-term, medium-term, whatever term, commercial, when you can find an off-market opportunity and you can help a seller get out of a situation that they're in, if they're in some kind of distress, whether it's themselves personally, financially, they're going through a life situation, or the house itself is in distress and it needs a lot of work, those are the good deals and they are in every single market. I don't care where you're at in the US, you can find a good deal if you know where to look. And just touching back on the sellers that are going to be selling, I just made a video about it I'll make sure that I link to it up here, because you need to understand that there's sellers that are going to be selling, not in mass, but they're going to be selling a lot more who own short-term rentals because they're not running it correctly. They're not making the money they thought they were going to make, and they just didn't realize how difficult it was going to be. So there are good deals. You just need to know where to look. Myth number 4. People are going back to the resorts. Look, there are 3 really big resorts in the Poconos. You have Great Wolf Lodge, Camelback, and Kalahari. People will always vacation there. There's a certain number of rooms in these resorts, and then everyone else that wants to vacation at the same time, they're gonna have to stay somewhere, right? And where are they gonna stay? They're not really going to hotels. There are a few hotels, but people aren't really wanting to travel to the Poconos and stay in a hotel. They want to stay in a short-term rental. They want to stay in a house. They want to have a location where they can come, unpack their stuff, hang out, make dinner, make breakfast, drink coffee, separate from their kids, right? And hang out in different areas. There will always be people that want to go and stay in a resort. That's just how life is in any vacation area. But the supplemental people, and I think the vast majority of people that are going to the Poconos, they're not going to want to stay in these hotels because it's just a hotel, right? You could do everything you need, but people want to feel like they're at home. And that's why short-term rentals are going to last, in my opinion, in the Poconos for years and decades to come, because it's a necessity. Housing in vacation destinations is a necessity. There's no chance, and this is my professional opinion, there's no chance that they can outright do away with short-term rentals, because it'll severely affect the industry, the economy in that area, and that is not a good idea. And myth number 5, it's too saturated and the competition is too fierce. I will say this about saturation competition. When you look at the traditional home that was built in the Poconos, a 3-bed, 2-bath, 12, 13, 1400 square foot home, the vast majority of properties on the market as short-term rentals fit that criteria. That's where the saturation is. That's where the most competition is. In these communities with homes that are very similar to each other. Let's just take my community, for example, Talmenting Trails. There are about 260 short-term rentals. There are about 4,000 lots. Most of them are developed with homes on them, but some of them aren't. I think there's about 2,500 homes. So of the 260 short-term rentals in that area, there are going to be a lot that are similar, right? Because they didn't build so many different style homes when they were building this community. So what you need to do, and what you truly need to understand as a short-term rental owner, potential short-term rental, or someone that's wanting to invest in the Poconos, you need to understand that you have to find something that's different. You have to find a property that's different where you can stand out amongst everyone else. And the marketing behind that, the amenities that you offer, the guest customer experience that you give when people stay there, these are all the things that help you stand out. The saturation is with non-professional owners who are just doing it to try and make a quick buck. That's where the saturation is. Over the next year, 2, 3 years, those people are going to be getting out of the market, paving the way for those who are professionals to come in and really truly deliver on that guest experience. So if you stuck around this long and you're truly understanding what I'm saying, you're going to be successful when you buy in the Poconos. This is not a short-term get-rich-quick scheme. If you believe that you're going to profit $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 when you buy one property right away, when it's just basic and you don't really offer that much, like, you're setting yourself up for failure, right? So what you need to focus on is really truly understanding the market, understanding what guests want, and being able to deliver that. Again, if you are looking to buy here and you want to work with a team who knows the area that can help you, click that link below, schedule an appointment with us. I'm going to continually make videos about investing in the Poconos, so make sure you stick around for the next video. Talk to you soon.